Topic 3, the Roaring Twenties, Key Issue 2, the rich and poor divide. The boom in the United States did not make everyone rich. Very few people benefited from the boom. Over 40% of people were below the poverty line. When the First World War ended, so did the demand for farming produce. This led to overproduction. Therefore, farmers received less money for their goods and their profits decreased. Factors such as rising taxes, mortgages and foreign competition only added to the farmers' problems. The Republican government did not include helping the agricultural sector in their policies. Other industries also suffered and therefore so did their workers. The textile industry was affected by European countries putting custom duties on exports from the USA. This made the products from the USA more expensive. Racial discrimination. Before the First World War, America's racial situation was in harmony. However, afterwards, prejudice against new immigrants rose due to worries about communist agents entering the country. Hostilities reached their peak when 4,000 people were deported during the Red Scare. The Jim Crow laws discriminated against African Americans. These included the segregation of public places and making it extremely difficult for African Americans to vote. There are two acts you need to remember. The quota system, which was introduced in 1921, limited the immigration of aliens into the USA. The National Origins Act, which was introduced in 1924, replaced the quota system and made immigration more limited. The Ku Klux Klan was revived in the 1920s by William J. Simmons. Its popularity soon spread from the southern states, and in 1925 its membership reached 4 million. The KKK's movement included violent attacks against the black population in the form of lynching. In 1925, D.C. Stevenson, the Indiana KKK leader, was publicly convicted of kidnapping and murder. After this event, the organisation lost support and members never regained significant cultural and political power. Prohibition. Prohibition was in place in the US from 1920 to 1933. Prohibition was the illegality of manufacturing and selling alcohol. Prohibition was introduced due to national, practical, religious and moral reasons. The middle classes and certain Christian groups approved of prohibition. However, there was objection to prohibition within urban areas, particularly the cities in the northern states. Prohibition enabled gangsters in cities such as Chicago to make huge amounts of money by supplying alcohol. One of the most famous gangsters from his time was Al Capone, who was imprisoned in 1931 for 11 years for tax evasion. Prohibition ended as it did not reduce the amount of people consuming alcohol and had corrupted the political and legal systems through bribery from gangsters. The changing role of women. The morals and manners of some women changed in the 1920s. Flappers was the term given to women who wore lipstick, short skirts, high heels and who smoked in public. By 1920, all women in America were given the right to vote. The divorce process was made easier. Due to this, the divorce rate doubled. Church attendance also fell. Despite these changes, traditional values continued, such as discrimination against in the workplace and housewifery.
You can use the 5 W's technique to help answer source questions. Who produced the source? Most likely to have been taken by a Ku Klux Klan member. What does the source show? A photograph taken in 1920 of a meeting between 30,000 KKK members headed by Kay Eagle. Where was the source produced? Members from Northern Illinois and Chicago produced the source. When was the source produced? 1920. Why was the source produced? Photographs stored in the Library of Congress for historical relevance. KKK members regularly met under a leader to discuss future movements and concerning issues in the USA.
We hope you have found this video useful for your revision. Don't forget to check out our other resources for AQA Modern World History B, including interactive activities, games and videos.